Let me tell you about the most expensive piece of paper in construction. It's not the change order, it's not the punch list, it's the letter of intent. I have seen guys show up on site, pour concrete, run crews for 3 weeks, and then the client pulls the plug. The builder looks at the client and says, "You owe me $50,000. And the client says, "Oh, you? Read the fine print." Today, we are breaking down the #1 mistake that turns profitable contractors into broke contractors: speculative work. Let's get one thing straight. In the eyes of the court, a letter of intent is usually just a hope, not a guarantee. If you read the book 200 Contractual Problems, it highlights case law like Regalian Properties versus LDDC. I'll put the link to the book in the description below. Here is what happened. A contractor spent millions on prep work. The deal said, "Subject to contract." The client walked away. The court said, "Sorry, contractor, you took the risk, you lose the money." You can't just assume you're getting the job because you started digging. The law says you are working at your own risk unless, and this is a big unless. So when do you get paid? There are 2 magic conditions. First, the client has to ask you to do the specific work. Not get ready, but dig the hole. Second, the client has to benefit from it. If you dig a foundation and they sell the land with your foundation in it, they got a benefit. A court will make them pay you a reasonable sum, quantum meruit. But if you just bought materials or made drawings that they never use, that's your loss. Most of you are doing the second one. You're buying materials, you're mobilizing cranes, you're doing prep hoping to win a bid. Stop it. Let me paint a picture. It's Friday at 4 p.m. The client emails you. "We are good to go, start Monday, we'll sign the contract next week." Most guys say, "Great," and show up Monday. Here is what happens next. You start framing. You pay your guys. 3 weeks later, the client finds a cheaper guy or runs out of money. They stop you. You sue. They point to the email and say, "We never signed a contract, just a letter of intent." Game over. You lose. You just paid to build someone else's dream. How do you stop this? Rule #1. No signed contract, no machines on site. Period. If the client says, "Just start," you say, "Just sign." Rule #2. If you must start under a letter of intent, add a cap. The book shows that in cases like Diamond Build versus Clapham, the court enforced the cap. If the letter says, "Don't spend more than $10,000, you stop at $9,999. If you go over, you're donating your time. Rule #3, change the wording. If they send a subject to contract letter, cross it out and write subject to preparation of formal contract. But even that is risky. Better yet, get a down payment before you mobilize. Look, construction is risky enough without working for free. That letter of intent is not a green light. It's a yellow light that often turns red. Protect your lien rights. Protect your cash flow. If the paperwork isn't done, neither is the work. If you have a war story about starting a job too early, drop it in the comments. Let's warn the next guy.